Thanks for tuning in. In this video, I'm going to be demonstrating how Karpenter can be used to automatically provision nodes to your EKS cluster. So you can see in this dashboard here that we have nodes created by node pool, nodes terminated. So what I did was I ran a stress test. You can kind of see it here. Let's put last 30 minutes. I ran a stress test, and at this point in time, I had 48 pods that were pending, and they needed a place to run. There was not enough room on the nodes that I had. So what Karpenter did was it created nodes, and then when we turned the stress test off, it deleted them. So let's take a look at the CLI here. You can see the results of that. We had these nodes running during the stress test, and we had them get turned off here. So let's go ahead and run the stress test again just so we can see it. And then I'll do a little explanation of the code. So if I go to my namespace called stress test, and if I enable this deployment here, let's have a look. Stress. In this deployment, what are we doing? We're just running 50 pods, and the image is called stress. These are the arguments we're giving the pod. Okay, so it's just designed to use memory and CPU. That's all it does. So while that is running, let's go ahead and take a look at the code. This is the Helm release for Karpenter, and these values are from the Helm chart. So it needs a service account, right? And we're using pod identity, so we don't need to specify the ARN of the role. That's pretty much it. Really, service monitor, you want to turn that on if you want to be able to monitor it in your dashboard. And I got the dashboards from here, so from AWS Karpenter. Okay, that's where I got that dashboard I was just showing you. And yeah, so how does it actually provision the nodes? Well, you need to use CRDs, right? Custom resource definitions. So if I go to here, this is where I create a EC2 node class and node pool. You can look at the docs for that here. So if you go to the Karpenter site, and if you go to concepts, you have plenty of documentation on how to create a node pool and node class. So basically, the node class is what tells Karpenter when and how to provision new nodes, okay, and when to evict them. So when to provision, when to evict. All right. And the node pool is the eligible instances that you want Karpenter to pick from. So Karpenter will not only scale horizontally, it'll scale vertically as well. So it'll add nodes and it'll choose nodes from whatever you allow it to. So it may pick like an R, 2x large, C large. It just depends on the workload and what it needs. And it's capable of using spot instances too. So if it can use a spot instance, it will, which is nice. It'll save you a lot of money. Okay, now the next thing to look at is to check out our stress test. Let's see how that's going. Okay, get pods, stress test. Okay, looks like it's running. So let's look at the dashboard. Down here, pod phase, we've got 63 pods pending right there. Look at that. And now there are only 13 pending. Why is that? That's because we created some nodes for them to run on. Nodes created by node pool. Okay, so we've got some nodes that are running our pods. We can look here. Oh, interesting. It shows the C3 2x large for them. It could have chose a different one, right? It could have chose anything that we had in that list down here, but it thought that the C 2x large was appropriate. Okay, they're all spot instances, and we can see their memory and CPU utilization, how many pods they're running, what zone they're in. Okay, look, another one just got provisioned C5. Nice. Okay, so they are up and running. They're running the workloads. So if I look at our pods, I should see that they're all good. A few pods still need to be scheduled. That's okay. It'll take care of it. So I'll show you another dashboard that I have here. Let's see, performance, right? Node termination latency, how long it took to turn a node off. Let's see, 3 hours, it's a little long. Let's look at the past 30 minutes. Pod startup latency, how long it took to start up a pod. And then we have some other information in here too. Controller reconciliation rate. So these are good dashboards. Okay, we can probably go back to here and see how it's going. Let's see if we still have any pods that need provisioning. It looks like there's still a few. Okay, but we got more nodes up and running now. So they should be coming online pretty soon here, all of them. The restarts are because the stress test failed and it's going to restart. Not failed, but like it's just restarting. That's fine. So let's give that a minute to get all scheduled up, and let's look at our nodes too. Okay, get nodes O wide. Okay, so we can see all of our nodes here that are running. Okay, still provisioning some. It's got quite a lot, 50, but we can watch that here. Let's go last 30 minutes. You can see how it's running here. Okay, we've got all of our pods running in this stress test. Look at that. So they're all running, and we can go back to the dashboard. We should be able to see this go down here. Maybe it needs a minute to catch up. There it goes. Looks good. Only 2 pending pods, it says. There's probably none really. It just needs another minute to catch up. And yeah, the stress test created some nodes. We're running it fine. Okay, so we can run K, I think, get nodes just to look at them again. There we go. So the next thing to do is to turn the stress test off and watch it take the nodes offline. As you don't need nodes, it'll take them offline for you. Okay, so while that's going on, I will show you one thing that's good to know is in here, you'll see that we have these security group and subnet selectors. So the security groups and subnets that you're using have to be tagged in AWS with this for Karpenter to be able to provision in that subnet. So how do you tag them? Karpenter has documentation on that. You can follow these steps here to do that. But what I've done is created a pipeline so I don't have to run those commands every time. I'll show you what that pipeline looks like. It's right here. So basically it just authenticates in the CLI, it creates a kube config so it could use the kubectl. And then we go through and tag them according to the docs. Okay. So that'll tag your security groups and your subnets. Okay, so let's take a look at our dashboard. Now that we've turned our stress test offline, we should be seeing some nodes getting terminated. Okay, looks like we are. Nodes terminated. These should be coming away. We could even use the other dashboard here to look at the latency for terminating. So let's go back to the other dashboard. Okay, so we're terminating some nodes. Let's take a look at our console here. Let's see what's going on in here. No pods running. That's good. We turned the stress test off. Now let's look at our nodes. Okay, they're coming online. We had a few more up here than we do here. So give it a couple minutes and they should all be offline. Okay, we're back to just the 4 original nodes that we had. We can go back to our dashboard and look at all the data here. So we can see that we took everything offline, nodes terminated by node pool, nodes eligible for disruption, reason, empty. So disruption actions performed by type, they were needed to be deleted. So yeah, pretty much we don't have any of those nodes down here left to look at. So that's that. I hope you enjoyed watching that stress test and seeing how Karpenter can dynamically add nodes to your cluster. And not only add nodes, but add a dynamic instance types, so scaling horizontally and vertically. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and thanks for watching.